Hello YouTube, global BT first, and it's not Xenos. Shut up 14 people. Oh wow, what a surprise, what a weekend to be busy too. But catching up on things, this is my video before you pull on Garnet. I'll give you some things to think about, although I'll just say this now, she's probably the most broken GL first. No, she's absolutely the most broken GL first, better than Saz, better than RNA, and I will reiterate this later, and this is a god banner. But in this video, before you pull on Garnet and Lilisette's LD, I'll go over them, give you some things to think about before you use your limited resources. If you're new to the channel, I play both JP and Global, and I use that knowledge and experience along with my own research to form my opinions. I want to hear your plans, although I know I've already pulled on this banner and I know y'all have too, but I wanted to make sure I got it right before I release this video, and I was busy anyways. But regardless, like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you don't miss a video. I do read all the comments. If you want to make sure I reply to you though, you can become a member for $1 and you get some emotes on top of that. And guess what? Your boy got slides. Your boy got slides. I figured I'd try something new for anniversary. You know, while I keep this up for future videos, maybe, depends on the effort level. But if y'all like me actually putting stuff on the screen, y'all better show some damn support or I'm gonna just stop this video. Y'all better eat on that like button. Anyways, I don't want to take too much time with this. Garnet's broken. But let's go over the kit. So Garnet's role is support. She's a double enchanter, water and thunder. She provides party battery, heals, and she gives brave damage and gains. Look at them gains. With her rework, her skill 1 is now a double AoE attack. The whole party gets refund. Skill 2 is triple AoE with no refund for the party and no battery. And she got more uses of both skills. I cannot believe they reworked her. Her LD board makes her actual LD attack a 4 AoE attack, and the follow-up is now 3 HP attacks, which is nuts. And on top of that, the GL exclusive LD board rework refunds one of both of her skill 1 and skill 2. So now her BT phase is even better. So not only did she fast forward, they buffed the fast forward with a BT plus and an LD board rework that gives her more skills that she'll never run out of. It's just the BT phase buff, but that is insane, honestly. Her C90, boring offensive stats, but her additional ability gives her brave gains up. Her water stance, that she's probably better off staying in that stance, gives more brave gains, and the thunder stance gives more brave damage. Her BT plus, oh lord, God, what were they thinking? They were smoking something strong here. She gets, and this is assuming she's green, brave gains up by 30%, brave damage up by 50%, HP damage up by 20%, party refund after the HP attacks, kind of like Bart's. HP cap 30. This is nuts right here. This is like Twins and Yuna level of HP cap, which has insane returns. And she does a special attack on the expiration, kind of like Ace does, that cleanses the entire party of debuffs, and it does a full AoE attack with BT plus scaling on the overflows and stuff. And she gives a buff, and I put an asterisk on the buffs that you get from the. It's the first golden framed buff. What were they thinking? And while you have this golden framed buff, the party, whoever has, it's 6 turns, and the party gets brave damage 50, HP damage 20, but they do not get the brave gain 30%. But that's whatever, because you can just press her BT again. This is a ridiculous BT. And the thing is, I'll go over this later, but if you get her Heimer plus, which is 10% HP cap, that is 40% HP cap for the entire party. That's a whole ass ultimate weapon cap on everybody. And that's not even, these buffs honestly aren't even adding up her already existing buffs. So it just ends up being ridiculous. Her strengths, good lord, 40% HP cap. That might be just it. I mean, that's the ball game right there. I'm pretty sure she provides 40% HP damage up. If she doesn't, we have debuff calls, one of which is on the banner. Or you could just bring other HP damage up sources in the party. So she's giving everyone an ultimate weapon, basically. So we're about to see some crazy, wow, look at how good this character is. Featuring double Garnet BT plus. Like, it's insane. People are already seeing like, wow, that's a lot of damage. She does entirely too much damage. Like, she's out damaging some damage dealers. Like, I was hyped for Yuri up next month. And I'm like, oh yeah, he has a triple HP attack on his free turn trap expiration. And then Garnet just does that with her skills. Like, that's insane. Insane buffs. The devs were fried. They were off the molly. They were mixing all kinds of drugs. I can't. What were they thinking? FF9 Chads are winning right now. I am glad that FF9. I think FF9 is the best Final Fantasy game. Although Final Fantasy 7 is my personal favorite, I acknowledge 9 as being the best. Man. Also, that costume. Well done, Square Enix. Weaknesses, I'm stretching here. She's overkill. She might have ruined a lot of ultimate weapon plans because people are like, oh no, I have to switch to my staff. And honestly, you really don't need to. Again, Garnet's providing, she's providing an ultimate weapon for everybody. So if you want to max Garnet's damage even further, it's going to be ridiculous. If you've already started committing to one, I wouldn't recommend going to, or swapping off at this point, but you could. We don't know when we're going to get the refund anyways. She has completely shattered the meta. She has outclassed, I'm sure, I'm pulling this number out of my ass, but she's outclassed like 90%, 95% of the roster at this point. Too much damage, too much buffs. On a more serious note though, we don't know when she's getting force enhancement boards. She will be relevant up until Shinryu and through Shinryu. And one of the things that makes it harder to bring units later down the line is that if they don't have force enhancement boards, they don't charge the gauge as fast, so we don't know when she's getting those. But that is the stretchiest of stretch. We have like 6 months until Shinryu, so she's got a guaranteed shelf life of like 7 months from here on out. What a broken character. I'm still praising her in the weakness section. That is wild. Okay, teams, turn hoggers, so they can take advantage of her overhead that goes off. Triple AoE is ridiculous, so if someone's turn hogging, her BT effect is staying up and she's doing her thing. So like lightning actually, like Titus, Machina doesn't turn hog anymore because of his BT plus, unfortunately. Terra, but honestly, you could pair Garnet with anyone because she's giving everyone an ultimate weapon. So it doesn't really matter who you run with her at this point. But running her with HP cap stacking, this is people are like, oh no, now she's competitive with Ramza. How about you max them both? So Ramza, if everyone in the party has 6 buffs active, gives a 51% HP cap up and also a massive amount of HP damage. So he also gives everyone an ultimate weapon, right? So let's say you're running Garnet plus Ramza plus an ultimate weapon on your damage deal. Let's say it's Zac and you have their Heimer plus maxed. Just alone, not even considering like Zac's BT effect, for example, that is 166% HP damage cap. That's over 250k per HP attack. Bro, if you do 6 HP attacks on a chain slash like Zac, you're doing 250k a pop? Oh my god, that's too much damage. That's like 750k times 2. So like that's like scale that with Machina, who doesn't have an HP. Like the possibilities are endless. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't get too caught on the numbers. She is cracked, especially if you stack it with other stuff. So let's keep going. Future fights where she'll shine. Transcendence 7, where you gotta stay alive. She has occasional heals on her LD and her EX that'll help hit the orb, but she'll blow it to pieces anyways just because she's overpowered. Gilgamesh's BT chapter Lufenia, where you need to do HP attacks on the orb in order to keep it up. She's got good HP attacks, so she can maintain that. And everything else, really, she could just race it down because she is so insanely overpowered. It's ridiculous. Now let's talk about Lilisette, though. Lilisette, if you're not familiar with her kit, she is a support. She now provides with her LD, she provides brave damage and gains up. She also debuffs attack, speed, and she gives a sap, both from her skill 2 and now her new LD debuff, which I'll go over in a second. She provides battery to the party. She gives a lot of it. She now heals with her LD, and she provides guaranteed crits along with crit damage up, similar to Saz. Her rework, her skill 1 is now full AoE, still 1 HP attack, but there's party refund afterwards. And her skill 2 is a free instant turn, debuffs the enemies, and then you can do whatever you want afterwards. Her LD, the attack itself, does a heal. It can overheal. It's a pretty significant heal too. Batteries the party, and it does 4 single target HP attacks with 50% splash afterwards. Nothing too impressive there. The debuff that it implies, it gives party sap, and I think I did not word that well on the slide. So the sap effect usually goes to the person who inflicted it, but when this sap goes off from the LD debuff, the brave goes to the entire party, so that's handy. It gives HP damage up 20%, and it is there on quest start, which makes her a very good LD call and base call, provided you max her LD boards. The buff she gets from this gives the party HP regen, 10% slight, 20% brave gain, so she's in the decent brave gains club, and crit damage up by 50%, which is pretty much a brave damage up by 50% because Lilisette's EX buff guarantee that she makes the party crit. Her C90 also gives some more brave gains, 10%, so she's up to 30% now. She gets more party attack, and her actual EX is a real button now, and it does 5 HP attacks, so it's alright. Her Heimer Plus is encouragement. She gives a C slot, she has a C slot for Paladin Cecil's RF, which is handy so she can battery a lot better, provided she's hitting a broken target. And her split on her HP, her Heimer Plus split is for HP cap for the party, so she's helping everyone do a lot more damage. Pretty good stuff. Her calls are important because she has debuff start for that HP damage up 20% for 3 turns. So that's good. Good HP damage up call. Like, that's pretty competitive now. It's one of the best. It's one of those like go-to stable HP damage up calls. So Lily will live on long as a call, and her LD call also has 10% HP regen slapped on top of it. So if you need that for 3 turns, you're good. So now for the analysis. Lilisette provides good buffs. Again, brave gains, brave damage. She's got 90% attack, so that's decent. Doing enough. You won't notice it as much in C90 because everyone's capping. The party sap is all right. Attack down, while it is powerful, she provides attack down and then magic attack down on top of it. So I think it ends up being like 80% magic attack down. So bosses that do magic attacks will tickle you. The HP damage up debuff is nice, and the HP cap Armor Plus is also handy for getting bigger numbers. Weaknesses though, her damage is low. Skill 1, full AoE, 100, but it's still a 1 HP attack, so that's a low ceiling. EX is up after a skill and an HP attack, but you'll probably just want to like skill 2 and a skill 1, because skill 2 is instant. So you could charge your EX pretty fast, but you probably don't want her taking that many turns. And unfortunately, because everyone's getting C90 now, this lessens the impact of the buff she's provided, because they probably won't need it anyway, especially when we have such strong BTs like Garnet. Also, while she does have an HP damage up call, which is great, if you're no turning bosses, it only has 3 turn duration on both of the calls because it counts as her quest start. So if the bosses are taking a lot of turns, this is likely to run out a lot faster. And ultimately, attack down and sap is kind of niche. When it's nice when the bosses are taking turns, but if which a lot of people like to do, like no turn the boss, then really that's not going to be super handy. She's really going to be there for the buffs. Her teams, she's really the OG Aura bot. She's flexible. She doesn't give out any party buffs, and her debuffs are just all unframed except the one, but that's the one you really want to keep. And she's a great call, so really there's nothing really that stands out that she'd benefit from being paired with. Future fights, Thancred's LD fight where you need to do sap on the bosses. That'd be pretty handy, but that fight is a face roll, so would you bring Lilisette there? Maybe, if you really wanted to, I guess. And Safer Sephiroth, where there's a crit orb. Because Lily guarantees crits, she will be handy there. That fight is actually slightly tricky, although I imagine a lot of people would be pulling Cisne and not caring, but she is a decent option, especially because Safer Sephiroth can mess you up, and those attack downs and those saps would be handy. So getting right into it, my plans. Pull, I already did. I'm getting Garnet's BT somehow. Broken. Lilisette, great HP damage up call that I didn't experience in JP, and I wish I had, so I made sure to get that as well. I didn't have Garnet's LD either, so it's a shame that this video is coming out after I already pulled on the banner because I was busy. But I mean, yeah, this is a banner. I was already ticket capped anyways. I actually went back and pulled Cater 2, so check out that video if you haven't. By the way, I don't know what event we're getting. I know we already got the crevice. I don't know if you're supposed to say. I didn't watch the stream. But we're getting an Abyss and an Equinox, so I don't know the fights upcoming, so I'm gonna just go right back into the end. Before you pull, and this is, just be warned, this is from a meta perspective, not for people who've already decided, although I'm sure most of you already did it, because Geo first, broken Geo first, very obviously broken Geo first. In fact, I don't think anyone dissing Garnet is a real person at this point. I can't imagine like 40% HP cap, but that's the tweet. That's the tweet. If you're on the fence, still take some of my thoughts into consideration. Garnet does rerun. Well, she was supposed to rerun on Edge's intersecting will down the line. I don't know what they're gonna do in GL now. And Lilisette was supposed to come next month alongside Kaisa's LD, so I don't think she's rerun at this point either. So there's no reruns known. What are my recommendations? This banner, man, Jesus Christ. What were they thinking with this character? Pull. I can't recommend this banner hard enough. I mean, if you don't have enough to get the BT, like if there was one banner out of the cycle to pity on, it would be this one, honestly. HP damage up call. Lilisette's a decent support-ish if your roster isn't well-rounded. This is a super new player banner. Like, this is an everyone player banner, honestly. Garnet's gonna be broken, green her, and you're gonna be deleting fights for the next 6 months easily. If you're gonna get bored by stomping content, like if that's not your jam, I could see you not enjoying Garnet, but I don't think I need to convince those people otherwise, because You know, I personally have a habit of pulling GL first, like RNA. I love RNA, but she was so overpowered and I wasn't having fun during Chaos. I barely used her. I also barely used Core, but that's just because I just wasn't feeling it. But Garnet, that rule has been broken for me. I'm about to get that costume. She's already blue. I will get her BT by any means. I'm waiting for the free pulls to expire, and then I'll just token it. But yeah, this is definitely, this banner is the one. This banner will carry you. Garnet especially will carry you through content. You don't need to ultimate weapon her because you can just throw your ultimate weapon on your damage dealer with like a sword or a great sword or a unique. So I wouldn't worry about stacking ultimate weapons on her, but like for real, this is a mistake of a character. I think she is the best GL first, undoubtedly. Like since Saz and Aranea combined, like even if you combine Saz and Aranea, Garnet is still better than them. There is the investment cost of getting her BT plus, but you will make those gems back if you skip a bunch of stuff, because Garnet will be complete overkill for a very long time unless they have some insane shakeups content over the next of the month. But she won't be stopped. This character was an absolute mistake, and I'm all for it. Let me save. I'm about to hit 1 million gems eventually, so I'm good. Yeah, this is it. This is it. I don't know what else to say in that regard. She's broken. Lilisette's okay. I mean, I'd want to get her call. I would recommend getting her call just to have another source of HP damage up calls, but get Garnet's BT and green her somehow. Blue her, 40% HP damage kept up. A whole ass ultimate weapon for everybody. But I'm rambling now. Let me know what you guys think, what you already pulled on. This video ran way too long because I needed to explain everything. I said on Twitter this video would be 3 minutes, and kind of a joke. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, if you want to get more of my takes in real time, because it's easier to talk on there than on YouTube community posts. But yeah. That's all I got. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys later. Let me know what you think about the slides too, to see if I continue that. But I'll catch you guys later. Peace.